I went and got the guy in the tomb. So that's the first thing you need to know about all this. The second thing you need to know is that I am currently talking over pre-recorded footage. And I'm also not actually looking at the pre-recorded footage while I talk about it either, so I'm not going to be referencing anything that's specifically on screen for the duration of this. This is a little unconventional, and I shall explain why. I went off and did a bunch of side stuff, by which I mean like basically one side thing that consisted of two side things that took quite a long time. And I thought it was just going to amount to some footage that I would slot in at the beginning of the next episode while giving like a brief explanation of what I did during it. It ended up being about 20 minutes of footage, and the thing is, it's about 20 minutes of footage in bits and pieces. So there would be like... in order to, like, record an actual reaction to it, there would be more work needed to stitch everything together into a commentatable state than I am willing to do for just, like, a side thing. So I now just have to talk for about 20 minutes, and that will hopefully fix it. So I won't leave you completely in the dark. I'll tell you what I am doing here. The following footage, now that I've got the man in the tomb, is of me going to get the other medallion. We got the medallion of love. We just sort of found a guy who had it. This one's a little more extensive. It was split into 3 pieces. We already have one of them, but there are 2 more that we need to go and get, and so we're talking to the blocus down in old Dallen's house to reveal to us where we get the other 2, hopefully. One of them's easy enough, because we've already received the clue to get it. It was the note we got in someone's house forever ago that tells you to go east and sweest and swost. So what you do for that one is you go to the sluice gate controls in the waterways, and you open... all the gates need to be closed. Or open, or all the lights need to be off. You know, the orbs, the glowing orbs, they all need to be turned off. And then from that position you press the buttons that correspond to east and sweest and swost. And then when you've done that, there'll be a little shiny object on the floor for you to pick up. And I don't recall there being any kind of like visual or audio cue that you'd done it correctly. I just trusted the process and then walked over there and picked it up. So that's one of the fragments. The other one of the fragments is an amnesia plotline that I'm not going to go into any great detail about. It's just a lot of running hither and dither, looking for dickheads in the fog. But yeah, so that's what I did, and you're now going to watch that happen for the sake of completeness over the course of hopefully a little under 20 minutes. Maybe I'll edit it down. I'll see how long I'm able to talk for about all this. And the whole reason I started by doing this is because I was essentially just killing time until the rainy season began in Giza. Because it's not like other areas where like there's just a probability that the weather will be different. This is like, it becomes the rainy season according to the in-game clock. You get 2 hours of dry season and then 1 hour of rainy season. After the bit where the rainy season is introduced as part of the story, like that happens, and then the scrungulations kick in at a later moment down the fucking road. But that is the thing. So I needed the rainy seasons to happen, and there's a guy stood out that gate who very helpfully tells you when it's about to be time for the rainy season. He tells you at what point in that cycle we're at. We'll go and say hello to him if I remember. But I don't have footage of him here, unfortunately, so he is just going to be a mysterious weatherman, I guess. But the purpose of waiting for the rainy season. I wanted to steal a special stone from the Earth Boys. The orbs, the big grand orbs, the big grand earthen orbs who appear in the Westersand during a sandstorm. Now, I've snumped myself in the crump a little bit because the sandstorms are a lot rarer in the Westersand after you defeat the Earth Tyrant, which we did ages ago. So after that point, the only reliable way to get a sandstorm going is to enter the Westersands from Giza Plains during the rainy season. For some reason, that's the best chance you're gonna get. So I needed to engineer a situation where I could do that, so I could attempt to steal the special stone. I don't have footage of me doing that, because it's just me running up to an orb and picking its pocket and then running away a bunch of times until I get the prize that I wanted. And I had no way of knowing how long that was going to take, so I didn't get footage of that. I did get the stone, which you shall know by the blade I carry. Very, very powerful sword we've obtained as a result of me having done that, so that was worth doing, we reckon. But it did involve having to kill a lot of time off screen. So, there we are. I also attempted to get Mudshot, which is a Earth attribute bullet that you can have. I swear I met the requirements to get it to show up in the bazaar, but it just hasn't done. So maybe that's one weirdly specific case where that didn't get carried over to the Zodiac Age version. But I sold well over the amount of beast particles I needed to in order to get the earthen shots, and they didn't. They didn't appear. I was sat there sifting through the beans for 500 years and there was no point to it in the end. There were other bits and bobs that I considered going off and getting, including ice cloud arrows. Arrows that do ice damage, obviously. The problem is, in order to get those, I would have to fuck about in the snowy bit. The Phenomena Rift. You'll remember the Phenomena Rift. The issue with that is I went ahead and spawned Fenrir. Or Fafnir, in a moment of supreme impatience. I'll only forget to do it later, and I'm probably not going back there anyway. Well, now, I was going to, but there's a big fuck-off dragon in the way of my stone-gathering exercise. So, scuppered myself there, didn't intend to. And that's sort of, I believe, the limit of the weapons I want to go out of my way gathering the materials for that I saw in the book. I can have another look in the book. Why not have a little look in the book? It's not like I have to look at the screen. I can actually do this without having to pause things anymore. There's a pole that I can't get until I go to the next flipping area we're going to anyway, so I'd need to progress. There's the snake sword that we've snaked at us, which is fine. There's the Sagittarius bow, which I've got a feeling might be too far out of my way for me to be bothered with. What's this? Well, you need Sagittarius gems for a start, so where do I get those from? Tell me the truth. I can just get them from a flan. I can get them from a bunch of flan-type enemies. Just around the world. But obviously, I think it's the higher level flan-type enemies that you want to get to in order to get the gold medal. Which are further away from the grace of God. So, that's what I've been doing. We're only at about halfway to the length I would need this recording to be. I don't know if this is going to end up being its own episode. Probably not. Like, there's nothing... Not enough really happens during it for me to be comfortable releasing it as its own episode. I might just, like, tack it onto the start of the next one and make that recording session slightly shorter. So, that's all good and grumbly. But I still need to talk for what I would guess is at least another 6 minutes. But I've kind of covered everything. This is awkward. I'm not even sure what I've got in my little bag of tricks to kill time. Not the bag of tricks I have in order to kill time. That's a different vendetta that I'm working on against Kronos. But it's not germane to this. So I don't know, I'm just thinking of some other audio we could have on, but I'm sort of running a bit low on that at the minute. Like, there's not been any more episodes of the Bluntly Scurvile mysteries ever since the host Bluntly Scurvile was bitten to death in his cell by rats. I don't know. Ooh, you know what we've not checked in on in a while? Why don't we have another listen to the sports reports? Any sports? Sports, anyone? I think I'm going to pop the sports on. Greggy Scrambles would continue throwing darts through the remainder of the evening, earning the big medal at the end. Cricket now, and the latest test series between the Scrunderhampton fucking embarrassments and Lumpchester City was absolutely scrundled this morning, as the game was almost called for beef. There was reportedly just so much beef circulating around the cricket field that it almost became impossible to play the game. The beef itself was almost strung out twice on a technical default. Which, I've got to be real with you, I don't know what that means. I just do sports news. We're straying now into beef news, and I'm not the beef correspondent. It would be wild of us to have one of those with a sports report. It's been a little... We could go to the beef museum, I suppose, and get one of their experts, but it's been a little difficult to find people willing to work with us ever since Interpol started stopping around here regularly. Really kind of putting people off this entire project. In their continuing search for Choromy Gungastride, the previous host of the show, who disappeared some time ago, falling completely off the grid, we're not sure what he's supposed to have done. Interpol will not tell us. But there has apparently been no sign of him since he finished broadcasting his last episode, though he does appear to still be leaving us notes with the latest sports headlines written on them. A remarkably diligent man. Interpol have attempted multiple times to confiscate these notes, but they do just contain sports news. There's nothing suspect at all in them. Weird sort of liminal situation we're in right now. But sports is going to continue happening irrespective, and if a sports falls over in the world and nobody talks about it on the show, then it's not real anymore. And all of those tennis players that you love will blink out of existence. So I need to continue prolonging the dream. which is something that the Interpol have never understood, is that I dream of sports. I alone can carry this burden now. Now that Choromy Gungastride has fucked off into the absolute ether. I'm not bitter. I'm a little bitter. I'd like there to be another person. Just kind of any day off at this point would be appreciated. None of this is sports news. I probably shouldn't be going on about it. But I have this bizarre feeling that somebody listening to the show right now is trying to use this to stall for time until they reach about 20 minutes. I don't know how I know that. Choromy always used to talk about that, this connection they had to some entity on the other side of the... well, not screen, it's like an audio broadcast, but you know what I meant. Yeah. I'm beginning to suspect we serve some manner of guardian angel purpose over here. Which is weird, because by all account, the person Choromy was talking to is not overly interested in sports, so I don't know why we took this form. The universe is odd like that, I suppose, but that's just another mystery. Much like the ones Blunthley Scurvile used to solve before his unfortunate death. But we will continue going about our business, assuming that there will be some point to it in the end. And you can tune in for another fantastic episode of Jesus Christ, is that all sports? I've been Growlerhammery Grungus. I definitely can pronounce my own name. And until next time, remember, stop sending Interpol to our studio. Well, that's all nice sports of you, hasn't it, done? Another lovely episode. They didn't actually tell us who won the cricket game. But I didn't particularly care, so that's fine from my perspective. We've got to have gone on long enough by now, right? I could probably cut the footage down to make it to this sort of length, can't I? Have I not done enough? Have I not suffered through the fucking bean tournament one too many times? They're just putting beans down on a desk next to each other, and then the beans, air quotes, compete. When they don't move, nothing happens. They just stare at the beans with this inexplicable intensity until one of them suddenly jolts upright and starts cheering. I don't know what they're seeing that I'm not, but it just looks like two normal beans. But, like, the other one invariably starts lamenting their loss. There's never been a situation where they've both gotten up and started cheering at the same time. I don't think they're bluffing it. There seems to be a collective agreement regarding the result of this. It's fuck, why did we get to this right at the end? Right at the end, as I now have to be wrapping up. There's so much to unpack about the bean tournament. I don't have time now. Why don't they talk about this on the sports report? Does it not count as sports? No, it doesn't. Oh, okay, thank you for clarifying. Right, I gotta wrap up now. I've gotta go do the actual episode. So, come on, just over here. Just into the next room. I'll introduce you to the actual point of what we're doing. There's a 30% chance of it in Times Garden. Just hold on to that information. It's time. It's time for us to fly off. It's time for us to finally get to progressing the story. I've not forgotten to get paid for anything, have I? Here's the Earth Boy I stole from Be Under Languid, Be Under the Earth, Cleave in the Clump, and that's all. Those death powder burglaries I did. Oh, I'm moving the wrong thing. It is genius. An ingenious powder we found. And a great skeleton to boot. Oh, I also found this guy. This is the bat we were looking for forever ago. I found him. He was like not at all in the area I assumed he would appear in. Like you had to go up to a point on the map and then he'd swoop down. So I probably just fucked that up. Anyway, don't give me more things to look at. I went through them all. There's no more. Oh, there's one more. There's more bones. The bones have begun attacking your coins. Amazing stuff. Anyway, none of that is important. I'm meant to be getting on with it. You're an airport. You are my planes. You are letting me get onto my little personal bus. Right, come on. We're going over here this time to get more things done. We're entering the end game. Oh, run away. Run away from the conclusions. Snump, snump, snump. What does everyone want with our stones going on then, eh? That's the question you've all been asking in the back of your minds. Stone, 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 you've all been thinking. Whoa! I forget how much louder these cutscenes seem to be. Look at that, tall one. Tall one of it. There's all the water falling down somewhere, look. Great stuff. If it's wet, you'll regret. Oh, it's wet down here as well. There's rainbows coming off. So liquid is the going on. There's more going around. Any reason we can't just land at the top? They've not put in a bloody helipad. Rude of them. Oh well, may not have been expecting visitors necessarily. Oh, anchored. Look at this.
On distant shore.
That is what we were looking for.
And about its peak, a piercing mist.
And in that mist, the Suncrest waits.
My lady, your words still sound of doubt. Pray you reach your answer ere we the Suncrest.
Ere we the Suncrest.
Should I choose revenge, what then?
Then your woe shall be your own.
You'll get the big bonks out of the
Vaughn,
hammering machine.
word.
Hello?
If something untoward should happen to me, you're taking the straw.
Untoward? What's this
Oh.
about?
I am the leading man. Might need to do something heroic. Don't worry, I'll show you how to fly her.
Fly pirates for going flying pirates on them! Right, here's the sword we got, the Ultima Blade. This real big flapping stance that we can get for you, for you. For you. You see? For you. So let's shove it. Does mean we've not got our shield on us, unfortunately. Oh, that means we could put our shield on someone else. You've got is your... You can't have it, but this shield is technically a little better for you anyway. Oh well. Oh, did I never put your gloves on. There we go. Multiple hit disease. Multiple hit disease for you. Utilise some of this special armour that we got from stealing from a man. It's the best way to do it. Where am I? Right, here. There's a Pimbless. Your feet are very narrow, I didn't see them for a moment. You don't like the ice. You don't like the ice. Swiss. You got very narrow feet. You don't look like you should be able to stand. Like so top heavy, and I've got no chance. Is this one of those that's like weirdly not considered an ailment, or can I drombulate it? There we go, I've drombulated. Let's Libra on me. Talking away, there's a hole in the ground. Sneeby, sneeby, snoo. There's a weirdo, look. Cassie! They're weak to wind. It's just as well I didn't put my wind sword away. Because I've got now your weakness and more chance of every hit. That's great news. That's great news for the economy. Everybody keep an eye out for a dinosaur! Are there any dinosaurs around here? Celebrant's mitre. Is that any good? Not good enough. You can have a oily volcano on your brain if you want. That sort of... What was the stats going on? What went down? Would reduce your magic power. It's just like we've not had very many calls to use bomb throwers really at all. I thought it might be a fun change. But it would appear that there's not really any point. I mean, like, because you do magic for all occasions anyway. I don't know when I'll need to explode. Let's go in here. Oh, this is the fucking Colosseum. We're gonna be back here for something else later on, and it's gonna be quite the ordeal. This is honestly less troubles than I remember being on the floor when I was your age. But let's be wary of them nonetheless. Can I loot this place for chips? Before we go fucking anyone. What are you in your coins? It's a bit like walking around the labyrinth looking for biscuits, isn't it? But you just get money instead. You're like, well, I can pay for biscuits elsewhere, but I'd rather have the biscuits right now. Now I've got to get out of the labyrinth and find a biscuit shop, you know what I mean? This is not optimal. Up the smoke! Can we unsmoking ourselves? We don't have Esyonaga, we just have faith in ourselves. Like, if you're gonna take away everybody's ability to use Blindner, at least come up with like a Blind Naga or something, you know, like all of everybody. All of everybody takes it off their... I mean, I guess they're trying to encourage you to, like, use items. Because I very much used to go through this game while not using items. Outside of, like, very specific circumstances which maybe force you to. I was extremely careful during Coriander Week, because I knew something nobody else did. They'd been laced with plastic explosives. Save the Queen! We already have to save the Queen, of course. This is what that looks like. It's a nice looking sword, but it's no Ultima Blade, is it, in terms of bonking power? This is a secret little zone, but it doesn't go anywhere. That's fascinating. Specialist. More money. Aha! Hello. Hello, a thing we can use. Here's the news for people who love it. Come on, maps. Thank you for inventing the map jar. City of other days. Well, I've not had my dinosaur prizes yet, have I? Can't go around going round until I've had dinosaurs. The dinosaur's the one that has the trophy on it. There is another bit of rare game I think I can get in this area. which I may as well, since I'm just faff-arsing about. But it's not prizes for it, have you? You're a bit of a spiblis, aren't you? Let's go back to bloody big sword attackings for a second. Because our adventures in swordplay got cut a bit short because of the horrible illness we contracted. But I can do it again now. Nobody will blame me either. I'm the guy who walks around with the sword. That's normal behaviour. That's normal swish. I'm not even being able to swish in time, really, am I? You kill that one there. I'll get a start on this one. I think I've only seen you do the one attack so far with this. He only knows one great sword move, and I'm crunched again. I'm not sure if I would say this was worth giving up my shield for. To be quite honest, like, because I'm doing things so much slower, but it was like such a pain in the ass to get the weapon. I want to at least use it a little bit, you know. There's a second move. There's more animations. I've been doing... Your hair hasn't stopped, but the rest of you has. Fascinating. I'll just let that wear off, I think. We'll be fine, we've got other boys. We've got the trappings of... Well, this could be slightly more of an issue. Just holding down the fast forward, but we're not holding it down. I've toggled fast forward mode on so that everybody comes to their fucking senses a little bit quicker. In-game, no, I don't want to set fire to everybody, I want to heal their wounds. Not cauterize them. Use of that in a medical context is a tad bit more contextual. This is going to get set off. Hey! It was good. It was a good one. It was good that that happened. The only place that would fit a dinosaur is in the middle here, so the fact that the dinosaur hasn't arrived makes me feel weak. Oh well. We can always go looking for more dinosaurs later on, can't we? What we can do for the immediate moment is go back in this way, because we cleared this place out of fools. So now there should be a horse. Horse! Hello! Hello there. Dispel horse myths. Take away that. Swish, swish, swash, swish. Fucking obliterate this horse! Let's fucking go! That horse is dead as hell! One of the top 3 deadest horses we've seen today. And we've seen horses that were literally undead. Well, they were undead, you see. Right, I've moved 2 rooms away, so this should surely give me access to Snupman. Come on, Snupman 3, return to fucking Snup. Go back there once and for all, god damn it, we've all been waiting. You left your bloody keys there. You're snupping yourself right home. You're not giving me beans. We've got a big chest plate. I think it's of a sort we've already had. Dinosaur! Dinosaur! There's no dinosaur sign. There's no dinosaur sinosaur. An upsetting truth for us to have to deal with. This one's just always a rejuvenation trap, it looks like. That's handy. That's handy to know, isn't it? That's Andrew knowledge in the flesh. There's a dinosaur, here we go. You always know there's got to be a dinosaur there for you to punch. Get rid of its powers. It's a bit fish-like, isn't it? Bit of a fish. Bit of a fish. Come on, powerful fish. Fish stopping. You don't like the cold either. You got a bit of a cold fish idea of yourself, haven't you? You getting on people's nerves. Right, you prioritise certain elements over certain other ones. You don't take into account the strength of the opponent. That's something to be florn and mourn. Oh no, you're in the middle of casting cold magic. You don't always know when it's time. Stopped. Absolutely bopped. You gonna give us the... Thank you. You were waiting for the music to stop before you carried on with yourself. Right, now that I've done all that, I've got to go upstairs. There's all these lovely stairs I've got to walk up, and I've got to determine if I might be capable. Weird place to put those. Doesn't seem like the most effective way. Alright. Give your name to the county thumper, and it'll teach you all sorts of tricks. Right. A sweep. Beg your pardon? A sweep. I'm out here with the fucking chimneys. Look at this. Sweepy. It's the fanciest sweep I've ever seen. Is it on the same level as... Not even close. That. Slightly numped up the numpty. Let's just use this for a bit. You know what? Until the Windy Menace comes home and gives me the fucking goings on. Let's have the slightly higher evade. Just for a little while. The Ferocid Ridorana. The numpty at Cungusville. You know he's getting involved. Alright, come on, let's go through the gates normally. You know, pay no attention to the thing on the stairs, it's probably not important. Probably doesn't matter, and it's probably just gonna let me steal from the treasure chest. Look at us, look at me. It's all rotted up and horrible. Rawr. I don't like you here. I'm not quite completely skeletal yet. Stomped. The stomping's going past. Although the big bloody machine's going and saying no, you're not allowed. Rawr. Rawr, I'm alive a bit. Right, can you give me a fly? I got maggoty flesh. I didn't get a fly. I'm gonna have to get flies from other people. Oh. You're like saying I'm undead, because you are. You wanna like unwrangle yourself before anything else bad happens. Lord alive. Let's get you out, put you in, because you've got the lance that will begin. What are you counting down to? Well, you've got your powers turned on, and there's no reason why. Let's not leave Redus rotting in his face. Spitting bile at the saviour, stop that! Normal, and then you've got... Oh, you're interrupting your own beginning. You may wish to source... Why? We wished to source, and thus the Lich was punished by the sun. Sunished, almost. Blech. All the flies went away. Once and for all. Sneeby-deeby, look at me and all my friends, we win the game. It's pretty great, isn't it? We congratulate ourselves for a job well done. And that, to be honest, feels like as good a place as any to end that there episode. So how about we, you gonna make the door open for us? Yeah. I'm gonna just run back to the crystal real quick. Do you wanna, like, not die before we get there? Just because you're in sort of immediate fuck if all goes clumpways, aren't you? So, the rest of us can hold out until we get to the stone, but I shall see you after we've got to the stone. And we've gone on to do more fantastic things next episode, so tune in for that, and remember, it's great. I don't know. You just have to sort of understand intrinsically that I'm talking about Frosties. Created a duplicate for business purposes. We can save over this one. It's fine. Bye.